Hello, guys. How we doing tonight? This evening, I guess. I'm so used to saying tonight now. I'm doing good. Doing good. A little tired. How about this? Mic a little better? Awesome. Anyways, I have the new mic coming. It's gonna take a second to come over because I did get a discount on a different website, so I have 3 weeks of shipping time. But yeah, got a new mic coming. This one is good. Never was wrong. In case you guys are wondering, it's a Blue Yeti. But it's old. I've had it for the last 4 years now, so I believe it's time for a change. Getting right into it, right? With price, weeks like those are always hard for me, especially when we look at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture here is here. Let me bring something in here. Let's show the year. All right, so 12 months. Let's just do just the vertical line. So this is our start of our year, right? Just so we can see in terms of power of three. Let's actually bring it in. Let's bring in the yearly opening price as well. In case you guys are wondering, this is the update that's coming soon. And let's only show the last one. If we look at the yearly open here, right? What have we done? And for me, it's always about candle formation. It's always about power of three. And right now, we opened into a large consolidation, right? No one can deny this. We had some very aggressive ranging markets. They were very volatile, filled with opportunity, but we were stuck in ranging markets. But we broke out of that range, right? Right here, broke above, and then started a huge run lower. So it's very hard for me not to frame this as accumulation followed by manipulation here, and then our move lower being a distribution lower. But we always have to remind ourselves of the bigger picture, right? The bigger perspective, where this move lower could also just be our yearly manipulation. And now we could see some very nice distribution higher for the rest of the year, right? Why am I talking about the year? Why am I talking about all this? Because we're in March. And statistically speaking, right, if I just bring us real quick to our statistics, in terms of seasonality, this is where we expect the low of the year to be made based on recent data, right? We look at the last 5 years. We're looking at the last 10 years, which are either early January or mid-March. But now if we compare it to our current year to date, we're down almost 8% more than our last 5 years average. We are down tremendously this year, but we have to remind ourselves that this is happening after we've had one of the biggest bullish years ever, right? Let's be honest. Let's look at 2024 here. Here, I'll bring it in. Right here, if we look at 2024, we can definitely see it's been a huge, tremendous movement higher, right? So in cases like these, the easiest way to say it is I have no clue what we're going to be doing. But this is going to frame my trading for the next 6 months. So right here, I would anticipate that we form divergence at a level like this, and then I want to see a reversal, right? At least for a retracement. And in times like these, I'll be referring to all the ranges. So the big range of this move lower, our most recent range, which in this case is this leg right here. And if we break above this, I am going to be referring to this for premium and discount. But what do these ranges tell us? Well, first of all, they tell me that this volume imbalance, which is a new week opening gap, is a huge objective for price. So this is going to be my target early on this week. They also tell me that my first premium and efficiency is this bearish order block. And then I'm going to use the same logic that I showcased. I don't remember if it was last weekly outlook or during the monthly outlook, but heading into this gap, into this order block, if we disrespect it, then my next level is, and my next target is going to be this high, right? The extremities of our range. And if we expand past this and close past this level, then my next target will be further into this range, being this extremity of the range, followed by the relative equal highs above, which is all-time high. So I want to see bullish price action. But trying to call the low every single time, even if I have statistics on my side, is going to lead to 2, 3, perhaps even 4 losses that I don't need to take if I just wait. So once again, it's up to the trader behind the scenes, right? Some people like to trade reversals. I prefer not to. On an intraday basis, that's completely different, right? But a higher time frame reversal, framing the yearly candle here, I prefer to wait for price to give me a clear insight. For example, inversion of this gap, right? Closing above this fair value gap would be a great place to start off. And let me just change the color here. I do want to, well, I mean, I'm saying this, but I can just bring it in. So let's just bring the new week opening gap in. And let's remove those quarters and mid lines. Let's keep it clean. So I'm going to look at this new week opening gap as a target, but I first want to see us close above this. Now we do have added confluence that we currently have SMT at the low of this range. So let's mark it out right here. So we do have SMT at that low. We've reached multiple objectives. Most importantly, we have SMT at this specific low, right? This is something we showcased last week in our price action reviews. But this is a key area where I want to see it reverse higher, but I can't anticipate that it reverses higher because that will lead to too many losses for me. Now, as I was saying, just started saying, it's personal preference. Some people will not mind taking those 4 losses because that 5th trade that is going to be the win of that reversal is going to be worth so much more than those losses. Personally, I prefer not taking it, waiting for price to give me clear insight, and then engaging with price. So worst case scenario, I'll lose out on a good trade, but I'll also have lost out on potential losses. Now, as I said, that's personal preference, not necessarily a recommendation for you guys, but I've always found it easier to look at price in that specific manner. So for me, I'm still bearish until proven otherwise. I'm bearish until proven otherwise. We have clear objectives, right? Going lower, especially on NASDAQ, not having reached this objective compared to ES. But then we have further targets as well. ES did reach this objective here. I did forget to mention that. But we still have some very clear objectives further. We did not reach into this gap as well that I'd like to see rebalance. So we need to see some sell side delivery. There are plenty of very clear bearish objectives is the point that I was trying to get to. So unless we inverse this gap and start heading to the new week opening gap, then to the order block, then this, as I said, very sequential targets. First off, I'm going to be looking at the inversion of this. Well, that is very, very large. Let me bring this down here. So I'm going to be looking at the inversion of this. I need to see a close above. If I have the close above, then I have a framework here. This move higher. And then if we close aggressively through it, and I have opportunities to go long, I have a framework to this order block. Then seeing the reaction from this order block, this is where I define, okay, well, am I going to be looking for continuation lower? Or are we closing aggressively above it and I'm going to be looking for continuation higher to this level, right? Which is where I would start framing a reversal and trust this as a potential yearly low. So I like to bring you guys into my thought process here. But the truth is, on a week like this, I will be waiting for high impact news to tell me where it's going. And to be honest, when I don't have a clear vision of the higher time frame charts, I always tell you guys the same thing. When I'm unsure about my higher time frame, I'll refer to intraday frameworks. I'm going to be looking at session highs and lows to go from one to the other. I'm going to be looking at retracements to opening prices. I'm going to be looking at candle profiles. All content that is based on statistical frameworks, of course, but this is what I look for on an intraday basis when I don't have a clear grasp on the yearly direction. I say yearly direction, but higher time frame direction. Just so happens that we're in March. If we refer to our area below here, our time parameter, we are reaching that moment where we would anticipate for price to form a yearly low. Looking at this, right, on ES, of course, we always have divergence, right? So March 23rd-ish here, but on NASDAQ, it is right up where we are pretty much March 16th, 15th. That is your moment where you anticipate to have your yearly low form. So in cases like these, do I anticipate nice price action going into this week? Probably not. Best case scenario would be to have a very high resistance week that forms some very large SMT, and then going into next week and the month of April, we can look for actual higher time frame reversals to go to the upside. Always keeping the bigger picture in mind, always recognizing market conditions, and whenever it's unclear for me, that's easy. I just go at it from a day-to-day standpoint. I'll look at previous day high, previous day low, form a bias, and then look for intraday statistical frameworks. Do you guys have any questions? Right? You guys know these weekly outlooks are never about telling you where I think price is going. It's about telling you how I'm going to engage based on what I see. And I believe that that is far more valuable. And if you guys are in here, probably as well, right? Some of you are in here to see it. Some of you are in here just to look at it, have some fun compared to your stuff. But definitely always looking for what are my levels this week? How am I going to engage based on what I see there? Establishing a clear plan so that when I come into the week, I don't spend hours questioning what I have to do. I have a very clear plan. I know what I'm looking for. I know where I'm looking for it. And based on what happens there, I know how I will trade, how I will engage. And I'm not seeing any questions for you guys, so I'm guessing it was pretty clear. Mind sharing your indicator settings. Which ones? Currently on my chart, I have opening prices, which is not yet available. It is the update to the key times and opening price indicator. That's actually coming soon. So I'm working on it. It's now in a place where it can be presentable. I can use it. So I'm basically using it to find any bugs before I release it. But this, by the way, this specific indicator will always be free. I release key times and opening prices for free. So, well, I'll leave the old version free, is what I'm saying. But very simple, time frame based opens and time based opens, and always with the option of vertical lines and both opening price and vertical lines. So slowly but surely, Money Lisa, it will be released. For now, that is not released. And the other one is the Real Trader Tim indicator, which you are familiar with. And that's pretty standard settings that I have on there. I use all defaults pretty much. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Awesome. Don't worry. It is coming soon. It is coming soon. I am going to be releasing all of those shortly. I don't want to give you guys a date because if there's an issue with it and I have to work on it, I don't want to be stuck on a timeline. You guys know this. But on that note, I'm going to wish you all the best. As you know from the news, right, you can, and if you do not know, actually, you can refer to this week's announcement. I will be engaging Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I wish you all luck trading. We'll have 3 price action reviews, all at standard time. So 8:30 p.m. this week. You guys have a great one. We'll see each other tomorrow night for a price action review. Bye, guys.